Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader Warhammer 40k. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 25. We have successfully handled the world of Janus and provided foodstuffs to Footfall. We're ready to move on. We have several systems to go through here before we get to the next fun thing to do. So, here, Orcelio Prophecy, what we want to do is get over here to this place. Not necessarily saving the Aldari survivors, but Kranach, we want to go to Kiava Gamma. It's got one of the game's first really huge dungeons in it. That's kind of awesome. And then up here we have this, go to the Mundus Nullius system. And right here, talk to the master. So this is Dargonus. We have to, basically, that's kind of one of the last places you want to go to. Well, not necessarily, but that's where your homeworld is, and that's where there's going to be a big parade for you and all kinds of stuff. So we want to go to the Orcelio Prophecy first. We're going to make it safe. We're going to warp travel to it. The tranquility of the warp jump was disturbed by reports of frightening sounds and visions that descended upon the crew. Hundreds of people reported knocking and screaming behind the bulkheads of the void vessel, the sounds of nails scratching against the hull and the elongated Aldari-like shadows thrashing about the long passageways. The phenomena were most prominent in the far corner of the officer deck where the new Lord Captain's companion, named Yerliette, had made her home. The Immaterium, let us go. Now we will chart new routes. And from here, we will visit. So there's several worlds here and then some pirates. We're over here, so let's go to the space dust first. We get some goods, some fuel. Got a couple of planets here. This has flood victims not explored. It appears that a large void ship recently dumped a huge load of junk and faulty parts from orbit. The debris that did not burn up in the atmosphere is now blocking the flow of a mighty river. This dam is causing the river to overflow, flooding the nearby valley. A herd of large hoofed rodents is gathered along the riverbanks. If the animals lose their usual habitat, they are doomed. Oh, interesting. Well, the Lord Captain declares a great hunt. The animals cannot flee and are virtually defenseless, and their valuable meat and pelts will prove quite useful. So we earn provisions and uniform kits. Great hunt brings plentiful spoils and lifts the crew's spirits. The right to take shore leave and partake in the hunt is so coveted a prize that many are willing to sell their belongings, make hefty bets in card games, and even fight in improvised tournaments to win it. Wow. Well then, on to the next little planet here. Should be a burning world. There should be nothing on it. Nothing there. Now we'll go over here and deal with space pirates. But first, because the game periodically removes people from their posts, like this, our warp channeler is gone now. So I like to fix this. I don't know why the game does this. Which one? She's now. I don't know why the game does this. So this is why you want to check frequently, because for some reason it just does this. And I don't understand why. Anyways, and now you can spend scrap if you want to upgrade different capabilities. I'll tell you what the difference is. This is Warp Wave. It turns them 45 to 90 degrees and does hull damage. 15 to 20% of the ship's missing hull. This does 25 to 30% of the ship's missing hull for a 45-degree turn and deals twice the damage for a 90-degree turn. That's a nice upgrade. It's 100 scrap. How much scrap do we actually have? We have 128, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to need scrap after fights. But what I wanted to make sure is that we had somebody in each post. So, yeah, I don't know why the game automatically removes people from their posts, but it does. So now we will have some ship combat.
Our enemies desire a bitter end.
There's a skill that you can get later on that will let you go first, which turns out to be pretty useful in a lot of situations. I think what I'm going to do here is, let's see, can we hit this guy? We can. Kind of want to do, yeah. I don't really want to shoot him on the front where he's probably the most secure, so we're going to turn him. There we go. Now what? All right, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but we can do this. Now we can go like this. Dorsal. Like this.
The enemy shield is down. Time to unleash a counterattack.
Yep. Go like this. That hit his rear end, which is not exactly where I wanted it to go, but that's okay. I'm gonna go like this and then launch a torpedo out here. Hopefully he kind of goes up here and tries to turn around this way, and this will keep his torpedoes from killing my torpedoes. Then we will shield our right hand side, and that's our turn. Yep, and he's gonna go around that way. That's great. Just what we want. He's got a really tight turn radius. Okay, we've got dorsal if we can get up here. Although what I really want to do, I think, is get around on this side and shoot him where he's vulnerable. Alright, let's dorsal him again. And now this. Macro batteries. Then we'll go like this. And we're good. Our missiles are going to get to go next. His plasma torpedoes and then our torpedoes. So this should be effective. Might finish him off. Not quite. Disengage. Live to fight another day, he says. That's funny. Yeah, let's dorsal fin him. And we can't dorsal in there? Oh, son of a gun. Okay, in that case, our turn radius is way too wide, so we can't hit him with this. It's not far enough, and our dorsal won't reach either. So we will go like this, launch another missile. All right, my friend, and do left side. He's gonna try to get away. We're gonna get a pretty good shot on his rear end here.
The dark void.
And there he goes. He's gone.
They were destined for defeat and death.
Trophies, ancient machinery, ancient energy core. We got some scrap. We just have to repair our ship. We took 2 points of damage. That's great. Fantastic. Begin scan on this planet. There is some promethium and it's 5, but we're gonna get more promethium later. And since we have 6 extractiums right now, I'm gonna save that one, not get it, because the place where we're going next is gonna have it. So, all right, now we want to go to Andermatt 2. Make this safe. Warp travel. My apologies, Lord Captain. The enforcers report that your pet Eldaria is in a foul mood and is moving toward the captain's bridge. We didn't dare stop her, but I expect that you have a difficult conversation ahead of you. So there we go. And there she comes.
Please spare me a brief moment of your time, Elantak.
Okay, Lizelle.
Azurion knows that I do not care about the curious glances of Monkey. I grew inured to them back in the blossoming gardens of the Lilithon. They curse me from afar. They follow my every move. They ward themselves against me. Let them. After all, what can be done with such weak-minded, primitive creatures? And still, one monkey stunt has caused the cup of my patience to spill over. She dared to approach me, to speak to me, and touching my hand, she suggested that we withdraw somewhere private. She wanted... Kimura. The mere memory of it stirs up a tempest in my soul.
This is pretty funny. Were you so truly offended by it?
Try to imagine, Elantak, being lusted after by a wild beast. It is foul, disgusting, so vile that it makes your very soul shudder.
I like this first choice, so I don't have a chance then either. That's pretty funny, but we're not going to do a romance with Juliet. My people have behaved contemptibly, and I apologize for it.
I accept your words, Elantak. And still...
I understand that this incident was unpleasant for you, but it does not mean that all humans are animals.
No. Your kind, simple souls and narrow minds are the root of all these flaws. Narrow minds and simple souls. Every day, I feel as if I am caught in a trap, surrounded by a pack of wild animals. I am prepared to pay this price to find my kin, but everything has its limit.
I shall speak to my subjects. You will not be bothered again.
Your words warm my soul. Very well. I will leave now. Do not forget your promise.
Poor Juliet. Doesn't like traveling in a ship full of animals. Well, you know, we are kind of a lusty bunch. Us humans. Especially when you're lucky like me and you marry a hot woman. Spend every day lusting after her. Alright. So we'll visit this place, and then there's Porta Septum up there, which I think we want to leave alone. So what do we got here? We got this little planet over here. There is 2 adamantine, not going to worry about that. And then there's Recollinger's blot. We'll do all the planets first. This should have some promethium on it, and it's got a bunch. So this is where we're going to stick an extractium. And then there's Bizarre Ruins. The bizarre structure observed from orbit appears to be the ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further searching reveals the remains of an envirodome, a landing pad, the main manor, and the servants' quarters. I see. On a savannah world, but it looks more like a burning world, and I'm immediately thinking we just found Darth Vader's private hiding place. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened there. The search team has found something truly disturbing in the main hall. An opulently clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered with old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plates are clearly human. No other remains have been found on the estate. Search through the remains for anything valuable. The scout team returns with some expensive weapons taken from the skeleton. After finishing their report, they hurry away whispering prayers. We get this. The assault lasgun. 5 recoil. Recoil of 10, it's got a 5 rate of fire, and it's got a pretty long distance. Every hit reduces deflection by -1 and stacks up to 3 times. Ooh, I like that. Jai? I know we gave you a melee weapon in case somebody gets close, but I kind of like that weapon for you. There's the hotshot lasgun. I want the assault one. Where is it? Yeah. You might have to use that. Reducing deflection might be kind of nice. Okay. Let's go over here. There is Plasteel here. We're going to leave it alone. The unidentified void ship is the Dark Piercer, and if you have 2 Phlogiston to trade, he'll give you a rumor to an ice world at 100 Dreams Crossroads, but we don't have that, and it's for Act 4. So we do not have Phlogiston, and the ship will disappear, and you'll have to hunt it down in another system. So we're not going to talk to him right now. We're just going to leave it there, and we're going to go over to Recollinger's plot. A ship that once traveled the galaxy is now suspended in the silent void like the gnawed carcass of a giant monster. When the rogue trader's void ship approaches, the Voxmaster reports an incoming message. A colony of the Imperium subjects have made their home in the bowels of the ship. They welcome the Lord Captain. We will visit, and we will take these people, but not you. We'll take her Idira. We might want her whispers. Recollinger's plot. Alright. So.
I always have a backup plan.
Welcome, your lordiness. Please, please come right in. And you nitwits, quit your gawking and get to work. Okay. The nameplate.
An initial survey of the vessel indicates that my exploratory brethren have already performed a requiem rite here. Further examination is inadvisable.
The plate reads, Lethano's
What
Pride.
about the sagacious marauders rooting around in the guts of this dead colossus of the void? Talk to them. Wisdom can be found in unexpected places, Shireen.
Lethano's Pride, the name surfaces in your mind the history of a family from the Cronus Expanse who invested all they had in a family ship. The ship perished in the warp on its maiden voyage. The Lethano line never recovered from this crushing blow. Okay.
Is
Now I
there money
think,
to be made?
according to my notes, we just want to walk around and touch everything that
I
you can
hope
touch.
the Domin bringing a Xenos into his retinue is some kind of elaborate trap.
No, it's about killing my enemies, and she's effective at it. That's-
Jai! When we get back, do you want to go back to that place on the lower decks? The one with the tables made out of used promethium tanks? That was fun!
Idira, Shireen. I thought you'd gone off the idea of hanging around with me after that shootout, but I have a few more ideas for...
A tired-looking woman of indeterminate age, clad in work clothes, breaks off from her task to greet you. She freezes momentarily, clearly unsure how to address you, then says simply, Your Lordship, please excuse me. I don't really know your name. Welcome to our little colony. May the light of the Emperor be with you, and with us. My name is Reda Maximnova. I'm in charge here. Well, what is this place? We just call ourselves Reda's crew, and this place is Reda's camp. That's it. We're Recollingers, scavengers in common terms. She does not speak the word scavengers with any kind of disdain. On the contrary, there is a dignity in her voice, the kind with which one would announce their affiliation with a respected guild or family. Tossing a glance at Pascal, she grimly adds, And our work is all legal, even though your brethren have no liking for us. Pascal stares dispassionately at Reda with a hint of disgust. Evidently, he has not even considered the possibility that replying to this creature's words could be anything other than heresy. What do you do here? Right now, we're getting this old heap of junk, slowly but surely. That's a Recollinger's life for you. They drop us off at some decrepit station or an ancient battlefield, and we just sit there for years on end. We look for working tech or valuable materials or whatever else might be useful. If we find anything, we sell it to passing ships. Not the easiest job out there. These wrecks are chock full of all kinds of dangers, but, and I swear it on my plasma torch, it's an exciting one for sure. This little bird's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Most of the tech is dead, but we do find working pieces now and again. We spent 2 whole months clearing out this shaft we found, finished just 3 days ago actually, and we found this thing, a bit weird looking but still functional. Reda's expression brightens a little. Perhaps your lordship would like to buy this component from us. I bet that big ship you've got could get plenty of use out of it. Pascal's Vox crackles to life. Imperiously, he tells her, "Present the object, laywoman." But curiosity creeps into his voice nonetheless. "This component doesn't belong to you. I will simply confiscate it." Retta pales a little, but lifts her chin with determination. "We risked our lives to find this thing and pull it out. This is our trade. It's what feeds our families. We can't just give it away. That wouldn't be right or fair. Think carefully now. Are you sure you want to defy a rogue trader and all the power he has at his disposal? I need but give the order, and there won't be a single cinder left of your entire colony." Retta clenches her fist, her eyes narrowing slightly. Her gaze darts over your gear and weapons as if assessing the threat. When she finally speaks, you can tell she is forcing the words out. "In that case, take it. If that'll be all, your lordship, you mind leaving us alone?" That got us a level, but I don't know what it actually got us. Let's see what it got us. Date from newest to oldest. We got mobile extra. Yeah, we didn't get anything from her. That's funny. All that trouble for nothing. A working area where fragments of the ship are dismantled in search of scraps of valuable metals or parts. Simple machinery and tools, a little worn but well maintained. Small selection of valuable finds, carefully sorted and packed. Okay, let's level everybody up then. So we do have that going for us. We took agility and dual weapon combat last time, so we need warp speed now. We're available to get that. This is the really nice buff for us that gives us much more mobility, agility, and their AP. And these are based off of our psi rating, so those go up as our psi rating goes up, which is really nice. For Pascal, Pascal is going to take, what's he got? Oh, he's got Claim the Bounty, Cull the Void. Okay. Hot on the trail. So this is nice. The bounty hunter designates an enemy in a 10-cell radius as trailed and finishes its turn. If any ally kills a trailed enemy, the bounty hunter gains an extra turn after that ally's turn, with all AP and MP remaining from the moment the bounty hunter used Hot on the Trail. The bounty hunter gains an additional MP, and the cooldown of Hot on Trail is reset. So it's just a way for bounty hunters to get a lot of extra turns, and it's really, really fun. I like it a lot. It's cool. Alright, so Cassia, Cabela. Let's see, Cassia, what do you got here? So you took Open to the Warp last time. And now you're going to take Warp Curse Unleashed. These are all, again, we don't take any of her Grand Strategist stuff because she's got all this cool stuff as a navigator. So Warp Curse Unleashed. All incoming warp damage is increased by 26%. This is based on her willpower bonus, and the other types of incoming damage are increased by 13%, also based on her willpower. At the start of the turn, the enemy closest to them also becomes cursed. So this is a great way. You need this for bosses. It's just awesome. Cabela has got this stuff, so we're going to give her Gift of Torment. Until the start of their next turn, the executioner gains bonuses to their parameters for each creature, enemy, or ally in combat suffering from the following damage over time effects: bleeding, burning, toxin. She gets armor, dodge, or deflection. So that's nice. And then for Jai, way over here. Oh, we're going to take Inspire, but I want to make sure. Yep. The target gains +5 damage and +5% additional damage for every 10 stacks of tactical advantage the Master Tactician has, but the Master Tactician loses half their tactical advantage stacks rounded up. This effect stacks and lasts until the end of combat. If the target uses a heroic act before the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn, they gain 25 momentum. So Inspire, fantastic for extra damage. Really great. And then Edira, if we look at her, she gets Enfeeble. We need to get her Enfeeble so she can go up and start, so she can get to warp speed and use that as a buff for everybody. So we'll do that. I gotta get the log back up on the Excel spreadsheet. There we go. Now, over here, what do we got? Whoa, check out the visitors over here. Must be something big. The apparatus gurgles and emits a strong smell of alcohol, probably not of the industrial variety. In this work of crude craftsmanship, you can just make out one of the depictions of the Emperor commonly seen in the Coronis Expanse. Come over here. There's some goods over here. And then up here, a dump site of cut pieces of metal and other materials, probably from clearing out a path to deeper in the ship. Alright, now what do we got? And then there's this. Something is propped against the door from the inside. You can hear the piercing sounds of a saw and other tools coming from behind it. Alright. Now what do I need to press here? Okay. Let's see what my note says. There's a lock safe here that requires a key. Click every item in the area and go to the northwest looking for a cogitator. Okay, northwest corner. Looking for a cogitator. Let's go.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I don't see a cogitator though. Do I have northwest draw? Maybe. Maybe my notes are wrong. I don't see a cogitator. There's the ship. Well, this is really curious.
I always keep my options open.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to see here. This is really odd. I've never chosen that dialogue option with her, with trying to force it, but I'm not seeing it. So now, once again, I'm going to be angry at the bad design of a video game. Since we didn't do the conversation with Retta here exactly the way the game wants you to do it, the check for the safe doesn't come out, so you never have a chance to get the check for this cogitator over here, so you never have a chance to open it. So thanks again, Alcat, for the crappiest game development of all time. You continue to surprise me with just how badly you put together quests and little areas like that. What a bunch of garbage. Jeez. Alright, we're moving on. Man, I hate stuff like that. You have a sophisticated conversation system where you can show in the chat window there different checks that you can make and skill checks and stuff like that, and you're not going to let the user know that they're going to lock themselves out of something if they don't do a conversation in exact perfect way. That's just garbage programming and bad game design. It's piss poor is what it is. What a bunch of crap. Tenebris Aquae. That's the next place we gotta go. This is Save Aldari Survivors. We're on our way over here. Trying to get to Kiava Gamma. I'm sorry, but I just think that's the shittiest game design possible. Lock people out of something that way. Lord Captain, I keep receiving reports about malfunctions among the various ship systems. This time we are dealing with inexplicable temperature fluctuations. Thermal control failures were observed not only in individual compartments, but even in the soldiers' protective equipment. Several crew members have suffered from burns and frostbite. The tech priests are performing the rites of machine spirit pacification and remain convinced that the issues were caused by the spirit's obstinacy and defiance. Their reports claim that the incidents remain well within the scope of expected performance parameters. Over the last few days, complaints about the malfunctioning thermal controls have dwindled, but the crew members have started whispering that our vessel is haunted. The tech priest's assurances that only the machine spirit's tempers are to blame for doing nothing to dissuade these ridiculous rumors. Yeah. Oh, and then we get this little cutscene here. You have a giant pool in your quarters, and you're just gonna float there on the wall. That's great. Oh, that's awesome. There we go. Now we're in the pool, and the blood comes streaming out of me. That has to do with the blood-spun web, of course. So we will have to deal with that whole situation. Starbuck, Abelard says. How could you have let this happen? An assassination attempt upon the rogue traitor in his own chambers, right under the noses of your enforcers. The Master-at-Arms radiates grim fury. Her eyes are dark, her lips pursed. With a practiced hand, she removes the maul from her belt and offers it to you. An unforgivable error. I accept full responsibility and ask for due punishment. I want an explanation, not vain self-chastisement. Put that weapon away and report. Understood, Lord Captain. Reporting. All adjacent decks have been isolated. We have begun our search for the culprit and have set up an investigation headquarters on the officer's deck. The substance has been analyzed and confirmed to be blood containing traces of major mutations. While it poses no risk of infection to your lordship, the very presence of such genetic aberration on board is a serious threat to the safety of the ship and must be addressed promptly. Once word of this gets out, many among the crew will surely see it as a brazen challenge to your status as rogue trader. What genetic aberration? The heresy of mutation. Mutants are vicious beasts who sow only ruin and death. They are devoid of all humanity, and the vile blood that runs through their veins feeds their unclean thoughts and urges. Numerous accounts speak of entire colonies falling prey to bloody uprisings staged by these creatures, all because their governors were too squeamish to order genetic purges. You don't say, Adira says. I wonder why somebody we don't consider human and exterminate by the thousands would think to revolt. What a crazy mystery. Alas, Heinrich says, the Imperium's enemies are not limited only to those outside its borders. Mutants can become a considerable threat, especially when given the chance to organize. The heretics have been revealed themselves and are eager to fight? Then fight we shall, Argenta says. Let the vessel be purged of their filth. Could this have been an assassination attempt? Then they would have filled the bath with acid or poison instead. There are easier ways to kill someone than drowning them in blood, as foul as that blood may be. I beg to differ. Cassius shudders. Were something of this sort to happen to me, my heart would surely stop. What do you intend to do next? As one, every enforcer present gets to their knees. Lord Captain, this incident has cast a shadow on our honor. We only ask for one thing, chance to absolve ourselves of our guilt. Allow me to head to the officer's deck at once so that I may lead the investigation personally. Lord Captain, on a previous occasion, it was your intervention that resolved a matter that my own rigidity had only succeeded in making worse. With all due respect to Mr. Sauerback, perhaps she would benefit from your fresh perspective. Seneschal, do you think so little of me that you would rob me of a chance to defend my honor? I see. Well, I'm curious to see the Master-at-Arms in action. I will preside over the investigation. Of course, Lord Captain. I will arrange for an area befitting your status to be prepared on the officer's deck. So we have to observe the investigation, but first we're going to do a little bit more stuff before we go do that. And I'm going to make a little note here, because this is the thing I didn't want to forget. Chart new routes. Always do that first. And then before we visit the system, I think we're going to go right into ship combat. So I'm going to take a second to deal with something. All right, time to visit Tenebris Aquae. So there's a space battle right here, and we're right next to it. A violent battle is unfolding before the rogue trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Court of Fleet are tearing apart two small Aldari vessels. Once they are finished with them, the void ships give chase after the third, already damaged vessel, clearly with the intention of destroying it as well. Seeing the last ship's impending death, Yurliet calls out to the Lord Captain, her voice trembling slightly. Only the rogue trader's intervention can save her kin from massacre. Send a message to Incendia Cordia's fleet, ordering them to stop the battle. The Voxmaster relays Captain's demand to stop the battle and soon returns with a reply. According to the Corda ships, the group of Xenos are malicious criminals. They are guilty of raiding the system's planets and robbing merchant vessels. Incendia Corda's void ships are intent on performing their duty before the Emperor and exterminating the Xenos. Yurliet sullenly watches the unfolding chase through the stained glass windows of the captain's bridge. She grimly concedes that no crime should go unpunished, except her kin are flying transport ships. It would have been impossible for them to rob a ship, let alone launch a planetary raid. Vessels such as theirs simply lack the firepower to do so. The Monkey are lying. Despite the presence of some weaponry, the Xenoship is more likely meant for transporting cargo or the Xenos themselves rather than direct combat. Ask Quarter's patrol for proof of the Xenos' transgressions. The patrol's captain reluctantly admits that there is no conclusive proof. This system is sometimes the target of pirate raids. However, this changes nothing, for his servants have no mercy for the enemies of humanity. Demand Quarter's warships cease fire immediately or retreat. Unwilling to engage in open battle against the flagship of a foreign dynasty, the patrol reluctantly leaves its prey and retreats to the edge of the system. Meanwhile, the wounded Xenoship is rapidly distancing itself from the recent battlefield, attempting to hide in the shadows of the nearest world. Every attempt to contact it is met with frustration, and the Voxmaster reports that the vessel is in deplorable condition. Who knows how much more the xenotechnology can endure before the irreparable happens. The Aldari are too scared and resentful of the Monkey for their recent deaths of their kin to answer the incoming hails. Despite this, Yurliet is certain that she can convince them to cooperate with Elentok if she is allowed to speak with them. Let Yurliet speak with her kin. Yurliet appeals to her kin's wisdom, but the words of the outcast simply cannot make them trust the Monkey. The pain of loss fills the Aldari hearts. Only recently did the humans destroy 2 vessels of the children of Assyrian, and now they offer aid? Worse, they offer aid through the mouth of their captive sister. No, the Aldari will not fall for this trick. Failed it because we rolled an 89 out of 30. Okay. Trying to outpace the pursuit of the next Monkey vessel, the Aldari overload their void ship's drives. One of the damaged engines is unable to bear the strain. Before the eyes of 100 officers, the Xenoship flashes a fiery light blue through the stained glass windows as thousands of tiny shards disperse across the system. The bridge officers openly rejoice, offering prayers to the Emperor. Today, the Expanse is cleansed of more filth, the enemies of humanity. What if this is not his providence? And only the thin figure of the Aldari stands motionless against the backdrop of the intricate stained glass windows, mourning the fallen in solemn silence. Once the pain in Yurliet's soul is numbed, she turns to the Lord Captain and nods, a short gesture of gratitude for their attempt to save those who could hardly be saved. Bummer. Alright. Too bad. We can't do anything about that. Gonna begin a scan up here. Pick up this planet is devoid of even the most primitive forms of life. However, the crew has made quite a strange discovery. A mirror, lying right in the center of a huge crater. A completely ordinary mirror in a frame, by all appearances. It's pristine condition. Destroy this thing immediately. Don't even bother with it. The crew blasts the crater, raising a cloud of dust that blocks the auger array. Confirming the mirror's destruction is impossible for the time being, but it could not have survived such a powerful explosion. Definitely not. Yeah, that just causes strife. Don't want to deal with that. The Hulk here should just be some goods, which it is. Let's see. A vigilant member of the auger crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. The ship is unpowered and shows no sign of being crewed. Send out a boarding shuttle. The squad boarded the vessel without issue. Corrosion has laid waste to the ship's systems, which led to the death of the entire crew. The interior is full of Aldari corpses. No weapons were found on board, and the dead Xenos, judging by their clothing, were not part of any warrior caste, merely the crew of a now defunct ship. The Xenos Yurliet claims to have recognized the symbols on the dead Aldari's clothes. They were civilian refugees from Craft World, Kurudorak. And then there's this world over here. It's got nothing on it. Pascal says it's a mining world. Begin scan on this thing, and we get some plasteel, 2, which we will just leave. And then there's some ship combat over here. 2 Drukhari ships, one smaller with long range. Okay, we'll give them a shot here. Hope we don't die.
They don't know
know who they're dealing with.
Alert! The Drukhari have blocked some of your flagship's posts using an unknown Xenos power. The crew will regain control of these posts in several rounds. So once again, giving the player things and then taking them away. My least favorite game design trope. Totally lame. Absolutely the lamest thing ever. So it launched torpedoes, and it's got that. What are my ships here? And then I got a ship behind me. Okay. I don't want that torpedoes hitting my torpedoes, so... What are the odds here? What can we hit it with? That's too wide. That's not enough. We could point at it. Do that. 72%. Alright. Okay. Let's go up here and do this. Shoot one off the right hand side. Now we're going to do this, and it's going to take some damage. Okay, it's pointed in that direction, so I think I can only launch it forward. I'm going to launch it this way. And I got no shields, so. The area of the ship trying so hard to close in. These things turn tight too for big ships. It's kind of amazing. It's got a very, very long shot there. Well, not much I can do here. Try to take his torpedoes out because we can't get a shot at him. There we go. Should have probably waited till this turn to launch the torpedoes. That would have been smarter, but that's okay. Can we get that? We can. Okay, that helps. Nothing else going on. We can take these guys and try to get them a little bit more closer to their target. Then they're gonna do this. Where's the other ship? Right over there. Oh, you want to put yourself right in harm's way, don't you? Okay. Don't like that. We are exposed. Yes, we are. And that launched torpedoes. Okay, and then my torpedoes get to go.
Face the judgment of the Undying One.
Alright. Okay. Can we shoot that guy? Let's get rid of his torpedoes. Or try to. Then let's do a torpedo in this direction, just in case we need it. Then we're going to launch this on the side. Okay, we should be able to kill him off with this. Take that out. Go here. We don't need to do anything, but that's okay. Just going to do it anyway. Oh, we get to go again. Okay. Can't really hit anything with this, so let's just leave it. Doesn't matter. It's gonna go up there and hit my torpedoes, which is fine. And then it's done. We're done.
I knew you were a great Lord Captain, Cheryl.
Now we can upgrade our ship. So what do we got here? Shallow jump is really awesome, and so is strafe. Both of these are really useful for helping you move around. Auger array lets you get 2 extra range on it, which is actually pretty important. I really like that one. Reloads the macro cannons that were fired during the acceleration phase, which is also really nice. Allows the use of both abilities in one selected post for a turn. I like that because it'll allow you to do shallow jump and then warp at the same time. But what I really want is these two because movement is so huge. So we're going to make sure all of our posts are manned. We're going to look at our components. We have 248. We have 248. So what I want to do is try to upgrade this one. Oh, we can't. Hull integrity, no damage. Okay, so we got to fix that first. Now, if we go to posts, we should be able to take this and upgrade it. It's going to cost 100 scrap. We'll do that. All right, that's done. So, planetoid, planetoid, planetoid. Yeah, we looked at that. Okay, we're done. Cool. So, we're going to leave this episode here because what we now need to do is go on to the ship. And we have to observe this investigation about the Gene Stealer cult and how they made our bath all bloody. Our bloody bath. So we'll do that. That's going to happen down here. Right here. We got to go to this section to another compartment. So we'll do that next episode, folks. Thanks for watching as usual. If you dig it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your questions and comments down below. I'll see you next time. And until then, happy gaming, everyone.